Hey, welcome to round 3. We're on a draw up against Cartesian. I know Cartesian mostly from playing Delver decks, but I don't know what he's been playing lately, so could be something completely different. That being said, that does mean that the Volcanic Island is kind of risky, especially on the draw. But I'm not mulligan. Yeah. That would be way too not like me to do that. Alright, snow-covered island. That's pretty perfect. I'm just gonna force a stifle. They didn't have it. Good. Delverino. The island was definitely a decent draw, depending on what they are on, of course. Zenith for 1. I don't really want them to accelerate, but I could just raise and borrow it. No, I'll just counter that, I think. See what we find here. A wasteland. Not ideal against what they have going on over there. So I would love this turn to play out so that I use my force of will, my brainstorming, get to jam my forager next turn, but that means I'm probably not brainstorming away my wasteland, which is looking pretty bad. Don't think it's worth the risk, but Euro. Pretty low on cards this far, and giving them more fuel is not great. I'm gonna respond with a brainstorm, since I would want to daze that, I think. Alright, so if I force it, I can go for a forager on my turn and put some pressure on them, since currently I'm not doing anything. I think that's worth it. Even though it's unlikely for us to win this game without any shuffles or other card selection or anything, I think this is our best way to win this. It's gotta look weird for them, me not dazing this year. But yeah, I need to get something going, I think, against what they are showing now. And oh, I messed up my brainstorm. Sorry for that. Missing out on 2 damage here. Clearly not what I should have been doing. Should have just had the lightning bolt at the top, of course. I remember thinking I wanted wasteland not too far down, but it doesn't matter since I was going to play a blue sorcerer anyway, and even if I didn't want it on top, I just should have had this in my hand and that one on top. So that was pretty horrible. Let's hope they don't find removal with this, since that was kind of like what I had to hope for here. Like them just getting stuck without ways to answer this and I'm pressuring them, but yeah. So if they don't pressure me, I will end of turn lightning bolt them or play my borrower and then just go for a quick kill, but yeah. Missing the 2 damage here is probably really gonna cost us. Alright, that's not the worst, since we can kill that and wasteland them off of their white. Definitely just gonna start on this. Now the question is, they have 2 cards in their hand. I could wait a turn before attacking, but with the risk that we don't get anything of this. On the other hand, converting a lightning bolt into action is actually pretty good. What we could also do is bounce this one. No, I think that's too bad. I'm gonna do it like this and just pass the turn. It's not ideal since I really want to put on pressure, but ooh, they do have more white sources, but not the double blue for Euro, so that is good. Yeah, that works. Now I'm in a spot where if they cast a cantrip here, I probably have to force it, and I hope they don't hit the second blue. This game definitely didn't work out the way I hoped, but missing the 2 damage is also not helping me. Probably, if it gets close, but yeah, them drawing any fetch land or blue land is just gonna be game over. It's a redraw and basically a time walk for them. So definitely very bad for us. Okay, it seems like they didn't hit the land, but Bone Crusher. Would rather have seen any blue card, I think, but it's not the worst. Now the question is, do I end of turn this? I don't think so, if I don't know if I'm gonna hit the third land. Oh, no, I'm definitely gonna end of turn it, since that gives them their second blue. I could brainstorm first, but I don't, against Ice Fang, but I don't know whether I wanted Lightning Bolt or whatever I find now. So I'd rather get the information first. I will brainstorm in response to an Ice Fang. Typhoon. Don't think there's much of a reason to do anything here. I think I will brainstorm here either to hit Wasteland Days or to hit a Force of Will. But if I don't brainstorm now, I don't get the option to put more pressure into play or to Wasteland them. So, so I'm definitely gonna want to keep the Ponder. I don't think I want to force for negation just because they already have something good to do that I can't force for negation. And of course, if they draw Sword Exposures, it's bad for us. But I'm gonna do it like that, and then the question is a land or Brazen Borer. I think. If I can get rid of the Brazen Borer, I don't get to Force of Will them anymore. And I don't get to Wasteland them if I fetch first. But the Borer is one of our few outs to the resolved Euro. I mean, it's not great, but it's something. This has to be close. I'm gonna do it like this and just ponder now, since this is better if I find a Wasteland, I think. Oh, there's the Days, but without the Wasteland I don't think that does it. We did find the Wasteland, and despite this not helping with the double blue, it does help if they're otherwise screwed, and maybe in the long run. Another Euro. Zenith, right. There's probably something I can bounce with my borrower, so that's good. Alright, that's not something I really want to bounce with my borrower. Alright. I'm falling behind on every interaction we have here, but as long as they don't recast Euro, at least I'm not dead. But I really needed more pressure than just this one Delver. And the turn where I think my biggest decision this game was the turn where I waited with the Forager attack, because I didn't want to trade it with their Ice-Fang. I don't think it would have helped too much. Ooh, they're locked out of lands if they don't make it. Oh, no, they did. Oh, like, that's interesting. They're not locked out of the second blue. If they just had a Noble Hierarch here, bouncing it would have actually been really good. Definitely gonna attack first. And now it's the question. They're gonna go up to 7. Well, up to 6 with the arrow. And if this flips and they don't have anything else, it could be good enough. The other option, like I could bounce this here, force them to fetch for it. So they're not gonna fetch now that they're at 4 and I keep the Noble Hierarch around. So they go from 4 to 7. But if I don't play this Delver, I don't get any pressure on them. Like this one Delver isn't gonna kill them anyway. Even if I bounce this, I don't have to bolt. They don't know that, but I don't have to bolt. So I think I just have to run the Delver out, and this makes it such that they can play around. They don't have to crack their Vista. Drop, since I definitely would have wanted them to. Or do they have a force? That would be rough, since I really need the pressure. But a force is going to be rough anyway. This buys them some time, as in they at least don't get to attack with the arrow. And gonna cost them some more mana to keep passing this back and forth. But it certainly isn't great. And I really need this one to flip. Asking my dog to go lie down somewhere instead of keeping walking back and forth. Yeah, they're gonna be happy probably that I'm not dazing this, since that means that they're not dead to the Delver flipping, which was probably their main worry here. And now I really need another Delver. Can't really play that this turn, sadly. Or can I? No, I think what I have to do is bounce it so I get the additional damage from this Delver in. This is where they force a will if they have it. Yeah. Now it's gonna be rough. I mean, I could still get there if they break a lot more and I find a lightning bolt on top or something like that, but yeah. Now with their arrow attacking, it's gonna run away from me very quickly. Oh, for those that you don't know, I despise that guard arrow. It's just so rough for this deck. Really, you can win before it starts taking over the game, but it's so free to have that as a win condition in this matchup. So unless the Delver player really has a lot of pressure, it's basically a 3 mana time walk that comes back and wins the game. Pretty good. Alright, if they draw nothing, a bolt can still do it. But that's a big if. And with the third Delver, I maybe have like another turn to get there. But this Delver not flipping is making it really rough. So now they know that I have nothing, so I'll just F6 here and hope they don't find a removal spell or an Ice Fang Kotal or whatever. They're starting with a fetch to white sources, not good for me. Ooh, Obelisk. Unless they forget to shoot these, that's game, right? Yeah, they go up to 8. All right. So with the Zenith package and everything in their deck, I'm gonna bring in the Submerge. I like Relics against Euro. They are 3 colors, so Wasteland is probably not great. Might want the Carcass over it. Power Blast definitely seem like good cards. And other than that, I don't think there's anything I want. I could consider the Hull Breacher. And the Carcass is the last one I consider. I'm gonna trim on removal. They definitely have quite a number of targets for them, especially with mana creatures. But so I'm gonna get rid of that. Spell Pierce, Force of Negations. Probably trim 1 Force of Will. I want to keep everything that gives me an early advantage. With on the play with the days in there, I probably want to trim another Force. Do this like that. Maybe not. I don't really want to shave a lightning bolt either. If just stopping their accelerants is pretty good. Like Fork Bolt and Blazing Volley are also both playable, but those don't kill in combat Ice Fangs. I'm just gonna do it like this and hope I can just be proactive enough. But don't have to trade down too much on resources. I'll keep this. Pretty likely that I just do the awkward end of turn brainstorm on turn 1, since my hand is this mana intensive. I really hope they just play a double hierarch or something. Something I can lightning bolt and actually use my mana in the first turn. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna brainstorm here. Just finding a daze to go along with my Young Pyromancer would be very good. And just the other cards in my hand are so clunky that I don't need all of them. So I could also double Delver instead. I don't want a lightning bolt, I think. So then it's between. I'm gonna draw the other card anyway. So, but the question here is, do I Young Pyromancer? I don't think so. I think I double Delver now. It's gonna get a basic, just in case they bring in back to basics, which I don't think they should, but you never know. I think it was fine to get rid of the Lightning Bolt there because we have to stomp for the Ice Fang. That does mean we can't really double spell, but we're not going to be able to do that with the Wasteland anyway, since our cards are red. So I think this is fine. Definitely would have preferred this to be a Preordain now, so I could Young Pyromancer plus Preordain or Stomp and Preordain, but we're going to see how this game plays out. This could definitely be a valuable asset later. But preventing us from double spelling is rough, of course. At least if they want the swords now, I can Wasteland them. They don't. No Hierarch. Okay. Definitely looking to kill that then. Please flip. Conspiracy theorist. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's really rough. This isn't a Preordain now. But I do think I have to stomp this. I need this game to go, despite me having 2 Delvers in play, I need this game to go long since I have a lot of clunky cards. Ugh. Having this and Wastelands is not great. Ice Fang. Oh, Ballista. Yeah, that's pretty good. If you want to shoot one before, oh, you can always shoot the second one. Yeah. I think they could have waited here, since they can always shoot the second one, and I basically get 1 additional damage in. So what's the best card to play here? Like Young Pyromancers, I can get a token of my Force Will. Conspiracy Theories, so I can start getting a snowballing advantage, or the Bone Crusher Giant, since it's using my mana. I actually think it's the Bone Crusher Giant. It puts on the most pressure and it uses my mana. So. This is also 7, so 14 divided by 7 is 2, so we have a plan. The plan is attack you. And Force of Will, anything that comes in our way. Well, not anything, but a lot of things. Would I Force of Will Source Plowshares here if they just go land Source Plowshares? Probably not. But maybe. Let me think. It's so rough. If they Source Plowshares here, I counter it and they have something good. Ooh, they don't get white mana. Yeah, now it's interesting. Since this limits what they can do this turn. What is this? So I could Young Pyromancer here pre-combat, since that gives me some information. I don't see them casting a sweeper of the mana they have, so it's like double Ice Fang Kotor or something. But it's good to know that before I go into combat. I'm not going to play around double Ice Fang Kotor. He's going to force the first one. Right, of course, they were playing Shark Typhoons. Yeah, that works. Do you think I want to brainstorm here? These iterations. They're not for me. I want to be able to cast a creature next turn if they wipe my board or do anything like that. So this is now 4, 5, 6, 7. If we daze enforce a will, we have lethal, but I'm not gonna daze enforce a will random ponder. But it's good to keep in mind. Like if they play a 2-drop here, I probably want to daze it. Have them spend the mana and then force a will it, so I have lethal and they don't have a lot of mana left. They're looking to source process this one then, since they're letting me untap with the young Pyromancer. No, Hydroblast. They're letting me untap and Hydroblast. So I'm attacking for 5 now. I still have 6 in play, but I'm not playing anything this turn. I'll force a will in it. I really need to get this game over with. Right. Let's see what they're doing to me. So how many bolts did we have left? Just a full 4 bolts. Okay. Yeah. Now I get to daze an arrow if that's what they have. That's iteration here. I'll put this one in my hand, this one on bottom of my library, and this one in exile. Okay, it wasn't too bad there. They were very clunky early in this game, but I don't think I needed it there, but it was decent. So on the draw, I'm a bit more inclined to have Force Will in my deck. And less likely to want to wasteland them. That's basically what it comes down to, but I also don't really want to get wasteland since I have a lot of mana intensive things. Let's see. Is there anything that I don't want? Pyroblast hasn't seemed super strong against them, but just countering an arrow should be good enough. They didn't really have that many creatures this round, but you do want to be able to kill them. I want another force wheel, but I don't see what I want to take out for it. Like a lightning bolt or a wasteland are options. No, I'm gonna keep it like this. Not ideal, but we have 2 cantrips and a relic. Just getting this going early is good, so keep day with the 6. This should really help with winning a prolonged game, so I think that's worth it. Even though they're still way favored in the long game, but I'm like, ooh, we can wasteland that, but we probably still should. It's not great. Definitely not great. Especially since they mulliganed a bunch. Oh, once. It's good to try and make them stumble. What I should keep in mind that I want to play this relic pretty early before they just run away with their graveyard size, and I can't. I have to start cracking this to stop an arrow. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Just run this out. And target them. Kind of bad that we have to let this live, but hopefully we can find a bolt with the Ponderer Preordain to stop them from running away with the game, since that's what we're trying to stop, especially now that we don't have any pressure. So they're likely just jamming an arrow here. Nice fang. Right. The bolt is good. The question is, do I want to ponder a Preordain here or keep my relic up? First things first, I'm just going to target them with this. Now I'm just going to Preordain here. It'll be fine to find the days, or well, ideally just pressure. Oh, we got punished. Yeah, when we went for the Preordain over the Ponder, we could have just made our land drop. Definitely don't want those. And now basically I'm just forced to kill that. I'm not used to control decks running this, since I just think Narset is a better card. But well, these definitely have some gotcha moments. They definitely got me there, and yeah, me not running out the lands first, so definitely bad. Questing Beast. Where's our Carcass? It's in our deck, that's good. Submerge. Also pretty decent. So now the question is if I iteration. Yeah. I think idea. I'll start with relic in them. Wasteland doesn't do much. I do want days. This is awkward. I want the days in my hand, but that means I'm throwing away the theorist and just playing a wasteland here. Yeah, I really need days. So I'm going to put that on the bottom of my library, Dead in Exile. I'll cast that one, and now I think I want them to draw this so I can be sure that I can use my days. I want to do it now so they can't really force back now and prevent this. Yeah. I'm gonna look to crack the relic probably. I need to get something going. I really need to get this off the table, ideally before I start casting creatures, since this gives them white mana. That's bad. I hoped that I had them locked in the situation, which was definitely very good for me, but you can always hope they just can't lock themselves, brainstorm lock themselves, but it's not very likely. I didn't have the 4 balls and stuff in my deck, that's sad. Yeah, I really need to get stuff going, so. Let's start on the Ponder. Bolt, Hull Breacher, Forager. The Forager isn't good here since I just emptied our graveyards, but the Hull Breacher is. But let's see, I could Bolt Delver here. I could Bolt that, play a Delver to put on some pressure, and then keep these on top. Next turn I can Hull Breacher. Or, alternatively, yeah, no, I don't want them to have the mana, and that makes my days bad as well. So I'm gonna do it like this. And I am gonna, no, I'm not gonna cast the Ponder, I'm just gonna cast the Delver. So, bolt that. Sadly, this means I'm playing out the Delver before I remove their Noble Hierarch. They only have 3 cards left in their hand, and then using a removal spell on the Delver isn't too bad for me. So. The 2 creatures I have on top of my library are definitely the more important ones here. In the order they're on my library. So the Forager is definitely the most important one. Nope. This isn't flipping. I'm definitely just attacking with the Delver. If they Ice Fang here, I can Hull Breach in response. We have to plow here, we don't. And this is just a decent trade now. And now I ponder, try and find a remove spell for the Noble Hierarch. Hopefully don't have to shuffle. Oh, that's rough. Now I needed a bunch more time to get this off the field since we're foraging, and yeah. I'm gonna keep this in my hand for now. Don't think I really need it. Let's not do that, shall we? Now I basically just need my forager to live for a turn, so I can start removing the no hierarch and go from there. They know about my island, so the question is it worth enough to keep the information? Don't think it is. I think I have to do it like this. Just give them the information and go from there. Definitely want the bolt under there. Ponder. I don't want everything under there. Please don't kill it. No, I have two things I have to remove, so. They did. Brainstorm. Can't hold back, I think. I'm just gonna run this out despite it not being very good here, because I want to be able to attack with it. Please miss on land drops. Again. Yeah. Probably have to kill it now so I don't get a bunch of elementals. Definitely just cracking that. Yeah, keeping the island in my hand and just cracking the land here, I think is correct. Since I still have that and I really want to brainstorm this away at some point. Ooh, that's still no removal, but it's good. So, I'm gonna play my land, play the Delver, so I want that in my hand. Then the question is, do I want to keep a Pyroblast up or want to have the Borrower? So, put one in hand. Pyroblast or Borrower in hand. I think it has to be Borrower, but Pyroblast is also so important here. Since I can keep that up this turn. But it's a lot worse if they have like a source of explosions for this one. Play the Delver. Put this one in hand. This on the bottom. This in exile. Play the Delver. I think it's close there, but this being able to bounce that if they don't do something immediately is very good. Plus being an additional threat, plus being able to get rid of a blocker if they make that. Just the versatility of this one is probably just better. Yep. Does that have a secret reach? No, it doesn't. Alright, let's brainstorm here. I still have 5 mana to do everything I want. Put those 2 back. Petty theft. That one. Attack for 6. I should probably just play this now, but I'll wait for a second. See if they play some kind of sweeper, like one of Terminus or something, or even worse. Oh, that's double white. Yeah, even worse if they find a second white for Supreme Verdict. Definitely want the Borrower, not in play then. The question is if they just pass with Automat open, do I play the Borrower? In case they can't brainstorm into something. Yeah. Play ourselves a Borrower and try to kill them. Alright, good games, Cartesian. That was quite something, them being stuck on colored sources, but being wasteland proof, that was the other side of it. And me basically only finding removal spells when I had a target besides this Noble Hierarch. Like when they got the second Noble Hierarch, I found a removal spell, and when they got their Hull Breacher out, I got a removal spell. So that was then definitely quite a game. Definitely a mistake. When I decided not to ponder, I should have played my land first. I think, since I had no reason to wasteland that turn, and then I would have had Volcanic up to Lightning Bolt or Hull Breacher. I wouldn't have been able to cast this that first time, which would mean I probably would get to submerge this one, and yeah, from there the game probably goes a lot better. You know, then there's a lot of other variables, of course, but and that was definitely a trip up. But other than that, we got there. So catch you folks in the next round.